Okay, students, today we are going to learn how to draw pictures like this. This is a charcoal drawing, and we're going to learn how to do this. You'll be able to know how to do this when we are finished today. So, what do we need? We need to start out with these supplies, and hopefully you can take a screenshot to write a few notes. But our main item is the General Charcoal Extra Soft Pencil, and you can see what they look like. It's right here, this numbering. I like these because I can put them in a sharpener that you can't see. Let's see. So I can put these in a sharpener and they sharpen easy. You will need to keep sharpening these. So I love these because they work in the sharpener. If you get the same thing, it could be called a pastel pencil, and that would be a fatter one, like this is one right here, Conte Paris, and but the main thing it's called is a pastel pencil, and they're nice, but you can't sharpen them in a regular sharpener, and so then you buy these cheap little sharpeners. It's called the General, if you can see that, General All Art Sharpener, and you just sharpen them, and that works fine too. These are high quality black pastel pencils, and then you just put them in a Tupperware and all the shavings stay in there and there's no mess. So that works out good. The next thing you will need is what we call blending stumps. And this is just cardboard in different sizes, and they just blend these lines so that it doesn't look like a line, so it looks like a drawing. Blending stump. Here's one particular brand. They're all well, they're not the same, but they're similar. And we'll need one of these moldable erasers. It's just like a piece of gum. And now see how this can erase this very easily? I just touch this and it comes right up. Whereas if you use a sharp edge eraser, you'll take it and it'll look real sharp edged. And you do not want that. These erasers, this is the brand I like. It's called Faber-Castell. It comes in a container, and there it is. And you'll need a cheap brush set. $5 will do it at a big box discount store. Get the flat-edged ones. See how flat they are? You don't want the round ones. We're going to be using the flat edges. So that's going to cost $5, and we are ready to go. So this is what we're going to learn how to draw using just those tools. The first thing we're going to do here is make our own tracing paper. And we do that by just making a black sheet of this pastel pencil smeared on a piece of regular copy paper. And why do we make it? For a couple reasons. One, it's free, and two, you don't have to go anywhere to get it, and three, most of the tracing paper that you buy will not erase, and this stuff erases very easily. So you can sit there and go like this with your pastel pencil, and then you can smear it so it gets evenly, and that's one way. Another way is there's different types of pastel and charcoal. I like doing it this way, it's quicker, and then you can fill the whole thing up pretty quick. I like to leave a little bit of an edge, so otherwise my fingers get all smeary. And then, so again, we just would smear this. I do want to tell you one thing. If you're making these and you're going real fast and you're smearing them with a wide one, if you catch a grain of sand, it will rip the paper and it will look like that. Let's see if you can see it. So, and then it kind of wrecks it, because then you'll be tracing along and you'll miss that. So just be careful to clean the sand away from when you make these. So anyway, you make them, they look like this. So we're ready to go. Let's take a simple picture and we'll start. Here's what we do. We go on the internet or somewhere, we pick out a nice little picture. We'll start simple, and then we'll get the principles down, and then we will go to the more complicated stuff. It doesn't take too long. So we take the paper that we're going to draw on, a regular copy paper will work, and we can just go like this to the edges, and then we're going to tape it on the top twice. Over here kind of wide, and over on the other side. We need to do it twice to hold it in place, and then we just tape it. And so we've made our little tent. There's our tent. Now we take our tracing paper and we put it in there. Now we're ready to go. I like using a red pen because then I can see where I've gone. But essentially, we are just starting to draw around here, and you can see, I keep lifting it up. You can see what I'm drawing there. So that's why even the youngest children can do this, because it's so easy. So we're just going to go around all these. Everything you want to outline, everything you want to show up. The eyes are always going to be, you need to be careful on those. Take your time. I'm going to do it a little bit fast. I usually do it real carefully. But you can see I'm just outlining all the things. All the outlines. There's the head, a couple of hands. This goes really fast once you understand this. Now, once we get moving along here, we want to keep lifting this up to make sure that it's working out. It seems to be. So now we'll just put in these stripes. And we'll make sure it's there. Well, we see, I forgot one up here. Keep doing that. All right. Well, we're finished now. Now here's where the brushes come in, and this is the secret. This is the power of this class. Is that so we take the brush here is like a magic tool. It just gives you so much control of the shading that it makes everything turn out really nice. So what we do is we take our pastel pencil or our charcoal pencil, and we scribble it here to make this real dark. This is going to be our paint. We're going to paint now. We're going to paint with, we're going to paint with a brush. And you'll see how fast this fills in. Now I'm going to be a little bit fast because I do, once you can figure it out yourself. But then you can take a bigger one and kind of do the whole thing. Now here's where this brush, kneadable brush comes in. I did get a little bit carried away up here, so all I have to do is touch it and it disappears. Okay, I am going to cut this off now so that I can see what I'm trying to copy. Alright, so it's already kind of coming together. We want everything a little bit. So even though this is white here, we want it a little bit. And even these wings, even though they're white, we want it a little bit dark. It just makes it look like a black and white photograph then. So, you know, we're almost kind of finished here. We could take our smudge tool. Here's our smudge tool. We could then we use that sometimes. Now we'll put these here. We will fill these in with gray, and we'll probably fill the eyes in a little bit. And like I said, I got a little bit carried away here because I'm going a little bit sloppy. So I'm going to take a little of this gray off here. You can see how easy that comes off. And then you just put it back on, because you usually erase a little bit more than you have to. Now already you can see that's filling in pretty good. So now I just take my pastel pencil or my charcoal, and I would outline the eyes. Nice smile on this little bee. We want the outline to be pretty strong. Eyes are always important, so take a little bit more time than I have been on this. And we'll fill this in all the way. See, this is a special pencil, and it really makes it dark. So we're going to outline this. We'll probably outline this a little bit. We want these outlined. Now these stripes will come out nice. If you ever want a nice picture, do a zebra. They always turn out good. You can look on my website and see some of the pictures other students have done, and zebras always come out good. So now we can really go thick on this, and you know, you can leave it if you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my smudge tool and I'm going to fill it in this way. It goes a little faster for this demonstration. So we can fill that in real fast. Okay. We forgot the feet a little bit. We need a little bit of feet. Okay, how long did that take? A couple minutes. We have a nice little bee. That's for the younger kids. You can color that if you want. So here's what we do sometimes to start making it look like a real life picture. We'll make the bottom darker because that's where the shadow is. There's always a shadow. Now see, look how fast I fill that in. Now I would want to do it up here too. Now all of a sudden that looks pretty real. I mean, that looks pretty real. And how long did that take? Just a few seconds. Okay, there's your bee. Let's do a little bit more complicated one. Let's try a lion. See what happens. Oops. So again, we line it up. You can just go like this in this case. We'll get a couple pieces of tape. Remember, 2 on the top. Because we can't have it move once we start tracing it, because it'll be all warped out of shape. So here's our tent. We taped it on the top. Now we put in our tracing paper. Here's a mistake you usually make once. You put it in upside down, the image will go up here. So you make sure that the black side is down. You only do that once, but it's a common thing to do. Alright, we're ready to go. I like using a red pen. I'm going to do this really fast just to show you the power of this. But I usually use a red pen because then I can see where I've been on something like this. But we always, the one thing we really want to do carefully is the eyes. And if you notice this funny kind of picture on a special program, because the eyes were dark, I did some work to make it lighter in the eyes so I could see them. But you see how fast I'm doing this now. Now, like on this one, I really want to get these whisker places in here. So, let's, before we go too far now, you want to look at this. Yeah, it's coming through. So we're good. Let's get a few more of these in here. Now, this is where you really want to pay attention, spend a lot of time on it. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to just, you'll get the idea. So I'm going on the outside here now. I'm going to go. Okay, so this dog, I spent probably 6 hours doing what I do now. Now, you really don't understand until you do this a few times what you need to do, but the more hairs you get, the better the final picture is going to be. And so you get these main shadows like this. You definitely want to get a nice outline. And sometimes when you scribble really fast, it comes out better and more free looking than if you just take your time. But I would go over all these hairs, and I don't have I don't want to take the time because I don't need to. I can show you. I just do the main ones now. Now I want to get some of these whiskers definitely. So I can get these whiskers. I want to, before I get too far, I want to make sure that's coming through. Yep, not too bad. I definitely want to get these shape lines that identify, even though there's shadows here, they identify the shape of the forehead, of the cheek. We can get some nice layers of fur here. So I want to get the shape of the head somehow. Ear, we want the ear. I am going so fast on this that, like I said, I would spend 6 hours on this. And, you know, it's a fun thing to do while you're watching television. But, you know, this is going to come out just to it just shows you the power that this technique has, because it's not going to be bad, even though I'm spending, I mean, literally minutes on this. Alright, so I got the head. I keep checking here. Alright, so we need a little few things down here. We need some more outline here. you know, I think I'm gonna pull this up here. Now, when you're doing something like this, you know, there's so much, especially in the beginning, you might forget something, and then you can't go back unless you can put this tape in the same place. So there's little tricks you can do that, and I've done that before where I say, oh no, I didn't get the eye right, and then I go back. So here's one way to do it real quick. You can like bend this up each side, or else just make a little rip in it, and then smear it a little bit with your finger if you want. And then what happens is you see these marks, and then you can put it back if you need to. But I'm not going to now. I'm going to finish this up real quick just to show you how easy it is. Okay, here's my picture. Now this is pretty neat. So I made some of these ahead of time. So, you know, you really want the whole thing done a little bit. So I take these big brushes and I go like this, and I just do it a little bit so that. And the thing that I notice, and you'll notice, is that what happens is all of a sudden when you're doing this is a line drawing, but all of a sudden when you fill in enough of this fur, the picture will go poof, and you will have what looks like a black and white picture, and it almost comes to life in a weird kind of way. All right, so I covered it all a little bit. Now, I think I will just start working with the main stuff here just to give you an idea. So we do the outlines. The eye's always going to be dark. The nose, look at the nose. Nose be dark. Here's his nostrils. Mouth real dark. So that's kind of the real dark stuff. So then I take my smudge tool and I can fill it in. Now see how these really look like lines? We don't want it to look like lines. So that we smear the edges. Now I hope you can see this. And that's sometimes why we use this one. But so on these eyes now, those look like lines, and they don't look real. So I'm going to blend them until they don't look like lines. And that real soft carbon will blend really easy, and it doesn't look like a line. So now all of a sudden it doesn't look like a line. And now I would take a brush, a smaller one, and you know, you could just go like this and smear it, but you got to watch out because I almost lost my line here. We got to get this inside eye, and then there, and then this one I actually did lose it, but we'll get it back. So we'll smear this a little bit, blend this off to the side. Now I'm going to start blending this in. Like so. Look at this now. See how this is darker down here? Everything on the bottom has a shadow to it. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to start putting that in deeper because that's where I'm matching this here. Now it's the same thing down here. The chin has a thing. Now look, see this. This is almost the point now where it's starting to do that. Kind of snaps into a real picture. So I'm just blending this in. Now I have to match the darkness here. And it's, see, right here is dark. Do it up there. You can do it kind of rough. Now I want to start getting some outlines. So, you know, I'm just gonna, like I said, sometimes you do this fast, it turns out better. So we're gonna just make it like this, and we'll blend it a little bit. And we're almost to the point where we start blending this, and then all of a sudden it doesn't look like fur anymore. I mean, like lines anymore. It looks, all these really, we could take them all in a little bit, because they do kind of look like lines. We could make these a little bit more. Hair, this is a good way to do it. You go like this, and then you blend it. And it really looks a lot like hair. People's hair, same way. So, we got to get something here. Now, see, now look at this. Is what I'm talking about. I forgot this line. We're going to fake it on this because we can see what it is. And it's never a line. It's hair, so we'll go like this. Now we'll take this. And we'll just smear it up because it's the bottom, and the light will come in, so there's a shadow there. There's going to be a shadow here too. There's shadows under the eyes, and you can do that with these brushes real easy. Where else is there shadows? Looks like shadows right here. We need something up here. You know, we could just go like this, I think. And then we'll take our brush and go like this. Here's a trick. A lot of very common people. Oh, here's one. I just have to get this over here. It's bothering me because it'll show that that's. So here's a trick. We need to match the shadows. We go like this. We turn it upside down because when we look at it like this, our eyes have seen it so many times we can't see it for what it is. So I turn it upside down and we go, what are we missing here? Oh, look at this. Look at this. I didn't see this before, but we got this whole thing over here. Well, let's just take care of that. We'll just match this, and we'll just, oh, here it is right here. So we'll do that, and you know, then all of a sudden we're matching. So you match dark to dark. What else? Right here now. Here's something we missed, so we'll go up here, fill this up. Anything else? Let's see. Down here now. Look at how dark this is. Now I didn't really notice that, but look how white mine is. That's not gonna work. So I want to get that shadow. Well, that makes sense because the shadow is underneath any object. All right. So anyway, you know, we got some here. We could. I want to get this a little darker to match this. We got this here. And then, you know, we'd fill this up. But, all right, you know, a lot of times, if you want to do something really fast, it doesn't look that bad. Now, there's one little thing I don't like. There's nothing here in this eyebrow, so we're going to fill this in a little bit. Because eyes are sunk. Well, when it's sunk, it's the same here. When eyes are sunk, there's a shadow. So we put a shadow here, and we go like this. We need some shape here. All right, how long did that take us? Is that well, we gotta give this guy an eye, a pupil here. That's missing. You know, I don't know. I like it. You could tweak it for many hours. And every time you look at it, like, what's this? Well, I don't have it here, so I'm going to put it here. That helps. And then all of a sudden it's dark here. Well, it's not dark on mine, so I'm going to make it dark. And then this looks a little white, so I'm going to fill that in. All right, there you have it. All right, we're going to do one more really fast one, and I'm going to show you. This is the real power, and no one can do this except you guys. when you're finished with this class. But the hardest thing you can do is a portrait. So let's do one right here. Put them together, 2 pieces of tape. One, two. Now this is one I would probably rip the edges here. I would probably rip the edges here, and then I'd smear it with my finger, because if you miss an eye or something and you have to go back, you can match them now. Otherwise, you can't. All right, let's do this. Again, we lift it up, black side down, put the tracing paper in. All right. Again, I'm going to do this really fast, but you know, if you make sure we're doing it right. Yep. If you want to do somebody like a cartoon, we're doing it the same way. We're going over the hairs, we're doing the outline. But if you want to do somebody really fast, what it will happen is it will look very much like them. But if you've ever heard of a caricature, that is a comic edition of somebody. Now you have to watch out down here, because if you run out of here, then you have to go over it again, and nobody wants to do that. So a caricature, if you have your buddies or something at school, and you want to make a really good joke and really be popular, make a caricature of somebody, and this way we'll be close enough. We got to get these little shadows in here. Even though they're not lines, we need that, and I'll show you how. All right, so you make a quick one of these, and we'll see if it's true. But it'll look like them, and it'll be what is called a caricature, and it'll be like a comic, and it'll be funny. All right, so we have to start doing this really, really good. We really want to take the time around here. This is a tough one. It's not a line, but we need to put a line in here. We follow the nose. Eyes, most important. Take your time. Don't do it this fast, but I'm going to have to. So, you start looking, you start learning. There's little hairs, little here, little here's, and little there's, and you want to get that eyeball really carefully done. You want to keep this white spot, and in the end, we're going to keep it. But the best way is to get a little white out for typing, and then in the final end, you put that little white out in there, and it brings sparkle. You just put this right here and right here. But I told you so you can do it. We won't do it here. Eyebrows, we just go in here. We can smear this, remember. Now we want to get these shadows. This is all sunken. Did you notice as we do this, the things are the same as in a lion. They have cheeks. She has cheeks. She has a side here. We've done that. She had it here. They all have these shadows. There'll always be, I'll show you, a shadow under the nose, shadow under the chin, shadows under the eyes. Why? Because they're sunken. So we're doing this really, really fast. We'll see if it looks like a caricature. Now you're going to need this. We're going to remember, we're going to do this with that black pastel, and then we're going to smear it. And they won't look like lines anymore. Put a little on the outside. Now see how we're doing. All right, so we need some of these. Notice checking. This is the part here, the lines. That's where you want to make sure everything. Now we didn't get enough up here. All these things, where are her hair parts? This line here, we forgot that. Here's a little. Well, that's not. We forgot the side of the ear. I'm gonna just finish it right now. All right, so hold it side by side. So, like I said, I like to do the whole thing a little bit, but you got to kind of watch it, because when you have a fresh one of these, you start at the edge, because it'll fade off really fast, but it'll be really dark. So if you put this in the middle here, it's going to be too dark. Then you'll need to have this eraser. But I'm going to do the whole thing. But you have to be careful if you do this, because if some of your lines aren't real strong, they will disappear, and that is, you have to find them somehow, and that's work. So we do things the easy way. All right, let's start. All right, so here we go. I'm going to sharpen this with. Can you see that? That's why I love these skinny pencils, Generals. All right, we want to do the eyes. Eyes will always have to be important. We definitely want to get this iris in there. Keep that white spot. We'll blacken that. Especially these eyes where, I don't know if you can see, her eyes are blue. So they aren't solid. Some of it's solid, like the pupil. Like right here, we're going to keep this white spot. So we can fill that in with a pencil, but these, this is the blue part. Well, we'll just smudge that. And then it turns out just right. And then we can blacken up the rest. And then we'll just start doing her eyebrows. We can do this kind of fast. Like I said, we'll see if that's true. If it comes out like a good cartoon of her. So lips. All right, here's what we're gonna. If I don't make this darker, I will lose it. And this particular, I'm already losing it. You got to get this just right. If you look at how that does that dip in there. So I definitely did not want to smear it and then lose those lines. But I didn't make them too dark, because they're not dark. So there she is, but watch now. Those are too dark, but now I will smear them. And what's happening on that lip? Well, it's the bottom of the higher lip. Well, that's where the shadows are, remember? So look we're making shadows here. Now it's stronger. Now we can fill it in a little bit. It's nice when they don't have teeth. Teeth are really hard to do. So maybe that's why I picked this one. In fact, that's not a bad thing to talk about. Is you pick things that you can succeed in a lot of times. I mean, sometimes you want to be challenged, but sometimes you just want to get it done if you're in a time thing. So why pick something that's got problems? Teeth are a problem. All right, so I did this. Now it's looking pretty fakey, but let's fill it in a little bit here. Now see what happens. Every time I make it darker, it sets the whole thing off balance. And then you have to go through and balance it over again. All right, so now here's where I come in with this. Watch this now. I start here, and it drops off really fast, but that's where the shadow is. So that's what we want. Bottom of the ear, same thing, shadow, but now we're going to have to make it go. We're starting to lose these lines. We don't want to do that. I don't want to. So we put these in here. Now we'll smear them so they don't look like lines. Okay, here's the hair. We did it just like the lion's hair. We did a bunch of them. We'll go over it with our charcoal or pastel pencil. I'll get the outline. Now remember, look at now. I'm starting to lose these lines here, which are important for the separation point in her hair. All right, so we'll do these kind of lightly, and we'll get these lines in. Now watch, that looks pretty fakey. Well, watch this now. We just smear these. Now all of a sudden, they don't look like lines. They look like individual dark parts of hair. And if I really, alright, so you can see here now, this is what I'm talking about. I forgot this. Well, I'm going to go ahead and fake this. Put a couple lines in here. When you do this, it never comes out as good as if you did it right the first time. You know, I would have taken more time and noticed that I had forgotten that. So, so up here now, look at this, pretty fakey. Well, watch this, we smear it. Now here's something that happens, and I don't know why it happens. Well, you'll get done with this, and you know, when I do it, I'll say, boy, that's really ugly. I hate this. And you'll be tempted to throw it away. Don't do that, because I don't know why that is, but whenever you do something yourself, you think it looks ugly. But what happens is when you come back a couple weeks later and look at it, you'll be amazed. It's beautiful. Now look at here, look at this. Under the chin, there's always a shadow. Well, we can just smudge this in here. And then we'll get the darker stuff with there just to show it's there. Your brain will fill in the rest. Then we'll just fill in the rest. And, you know, I kind of like it when it's kind of smudgy. And all right, so we got this pretty well dark. We need to darken these up. Now, this is too white, so now this is kind of the tricky part, but this is where you can't match this anywhere unless with a brush. So I'm gonna try and match this shadow here. There's a shadow here. Well, look at this. I'll just take care of that with one little sweep. Now, this is way too white, so now that I've got this darker, I can go over the whole thing, and it fills in real nice, and I don't have to worry about the lines. All right, so now it's getting there, but her eyes look weird because, well, I just did what I really didn't want to do, but I can barely see these lines, and so I'm going to put them in here now. This is where you really want a sharp pencil. Love that pencil sharpener. Okay, so we go up here like this. We would do this very carefully. Now, hairs, eyelashes, don't do them regular and spaced out equally because that'll look fakey. So you just go like this. Can you see that? Yeah. Just go like this. Now that looks pretty natural. She's got them up here too. They can't look similar. They got to look like they're irregular. Put a few down here. We need another line down here. There's always a double line here. Now watch, this is what I was talking about. Certain faces, it's always the same. Look at this. Always there'll be a shadow under the nose. Always. Well, let's put it in. Because the light goes down. Okay, always there'll be one under the chin. Okay, let's put that in. We could do that a little bit stronger with this. The side of the head, there'll always be a shadow there. This has got to be a little darker. Now this white is throwing it off, so we'll just dull that down a little bit. Now, this was not supposed to be a line, because it's not, but we had to put it there. But now we'll just, look at that, we smear it. Now, why doesn't it look funny? Well, there's no shading in the socket. There's a shadow. It's a depression. There'll always be a shade here. So we could do it with a brush. Brush works good. Fill in the whites a little bit underneath here. There'll always be a shadow under these eyes here. In fact, even young kids will have a little crease here. Okay, so here's how you finish it now. There'll always be a dark thing on the corner here. See how it's changed? There'll always be a little bit lined here that's dark. Ooh, I just broke my pencil. Quick, think. Alright, so I'm going to go back to this. the only pencil I have here now. I'm going to sharpen this with this sharpener. And so we can get another pencil going. See, that is nice. Drop it in here. Okay, little bit on the edge here. Now we would take a little one of these and smear this, but keep most of it. Now that turned it into a smile. Now at the corner of the eyes, this is dark. In the corner in the front, little dark. It's always the darkest. So here's the plan. Here's how you finish these up. And I'm almost going to leave this, although, you know, I would need a whole bunch more of these lines up here. Because if you just have a few, it looks fakey. But that's all it takes. And we'll smear those. Here's how you finish it. And this is a strategy. So we want it to be so that your eye goes to the darkest thing. So we want that to go to the eyes. So in the end here, we want these eyes to be, look at what's happening when I make those darker. Your eye goes there right away. Well, that's what you want. But you don't want it to stay there. You want it to go somewhere else. So you can put this here, so that might be a second place it goes to. But you want it to kind of go, start moving around. Why? Because then it's like a motion picture. So you want your, maybe go here, one. They did scientific studies, and when you look at somebody the first time, you go all over 20 different places in a microsecond. Well, that's what, if it's all the same, you won't do that. And you want to do this. So we go, one would be here, the next darkest maybe here, third darkest maybe the corners, make them darker. Fourth darkest, we want to move, because every time you move further, you refocus. And every time you refocus, it's like a different frame. Now look how dark this is. It's like a different frame in a video. And what happens in a video, it seems, you can turn into a cartoon. And so even though she's not moving, she will appear to vibrate, because it goes here, 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 well then it goes over here. Now we want it to go way up here now somewhere. It's pretty dark up here, so let's do this. Like this. And we gotta straighten that out a little bit. Keep the dark, but go smooth off the rest of it. Alright, so when up here, we want something to happen down here, so that your eye gets jerked down there. So, you know, anything. So we'll just do that. And then, so we go, eye goes here, 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 a little bit lighter, then here, then like down here, what's going on. And you do this all over the place, and what happens is it kind of vibrates. Now, I'm going to this pencil really works best, so I'm going to resharpen it. I'm going to get a point on it, doing this, see how I do that, off to the side, do the edges, make it round. This came out a little sloppy. Well, see now this starts looking like lines here, so we'll smear those. See? The lines disappear, and it turns into the nose, into the roundness of a round ball. Bund it up. But you know, these aren't totally round, but I want these round, and that's not bad. And this one is a little bit weird. I want to make them even. So, all right, little bit dark here. So take my eraser. Now watch how this just comes right up. And that's another way to do it. Now, if you want texture, just go like this. It'll make it look modeled. And then when you put a little bit back on, it won't be smooth anymore. It'll look like a freckled face, which is what you want. So I don't know. How long do we spend on this? 5 minutes? You know, we got to do this here. Oh, look at this. We forgot all this hair down here. So here's another place where we would want our eyes to jerk two here, and then we got to go up here a little bit. Well, you know, the thing is, you can keep going and going and going, and that's actually what happens. You'll walk by these in a couple of years, and you go, you know, if I had a pencil, I would just do this little change. So you never really get finished with it. These little points are important, and you definitely want the darkest one in the eye, a little bit in the corner here. So, you know, okay. How many people do you know, besides yourself, that can do this? We spent about 6 minutes on that. Does that look like her? Do you think she would like that? Do you think she would remember you for the rest of your life if you gave her a little present like that? Now see, I'm always going, whoa, yeah, but look at that eyebrow. It's not dark enough. So you can always keep going on this. But we're going to quit here. But the thing to do with this new skill that you have is use it to make personal relationships. Give it to a friend. They will never forget you for the rest of your life. You give it to your dog, that dog will love you for the rest of your life, but it's better to do it with people, and that's what your success in life will be equal to your successful relationships. And this is a good little way to make a success. Look at this. I can't stand it. A good way to make a successful relationship. Give this as a present. It'll save you money too. Give this to your grandma, your aunt. Your grandma will love you forever and ever till the rest of her life if you give her this. And how long is it going to take you? A few minutes? You have to do stuff. You can't just know how to do it. You have to use it. If you want to be special, you have to do special things. This is a special thing. So, you know, all I can say is don't throw it away. Use it. Okay. Good luck. Have a good day.